Today is the 10th annual World Contraception Day, according to a conducted international survey about young people's perception of contraception. The results that they released indicate that most South Africans are not using contraceptives and they're having unprotected sex. To talk to us about this important issue, I'm joined by Tina Visser, a medical advisor at Women's Health and Radiology at Bayer, and we taking this discussion further. Good morning to you and thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much indeed. This is quite an important discussion that we should be having. I mean, more so when you look at the high rate of teenage pregnancy in South Africa.
Absolutely. If you look globally, around 208 million pregnancies around the world in a year, of which only 41% were planned, and half of those will end, unfortunately, in abortion. 33 million pregnancies a year are due to either contraception that has failed or the incorrect use of contraception. And around 11 million pregnancies worldwide, or babies are born to mothers between the age of 15 and 19. So yes, it's definitely a subject that we do need to emphasize.
We do need to, but I'm looking at this research which indicates that most South Africans are not using contraceptives, and they're having unprotected sex.
Yeah, and that is a scary part. Never mind, the risk of having to fall pregnant, HIV, other sexual transmitted diseases are also very worrisome. But yes, it is a serious issue, and I think it's still, people don't really discuss contraception. The majority of the people in the survey also felt, yes, it's definitely a deal breaker. They would not have sex with a partner that did not want to discuss contraception. But yes, 90% of them still feel it's a little bit difficult to discuss, and they don't really know how to broach the subject.
And of course, it shows that more education is still needed.
Absolutely. In the survey was conducted in 15 countries around the world. It was an online survey. Around 200 patients, or men and women in the age group 13 to 25. In South Africa, we had 200 people completing the survey. Yes, and the majority of them, 56%, said that they had sex unprotected. Yeah, not a good thing. You need to have some sort of contraception if you're not planning on having a baby.
It is true. But there are myths and misconceptions about the usage of contraceptives. I think that's the real problem, because some people would even tell you that I'm not using them because of I gain weight and
yes, absolutely. And you know what? Not all contraception will be suitable for every woman, for that matter. That's why you really need to have kind of introspection around what you want as a woman. How do you want to space your kids? When do you want to start having babies? And then obviously discuss that with your healthcare professional, your doctor, or your family planning sister. There's a lot of options out there, but you need to find the right one that's suitable for you.
True, and you need to understand how they work.
Absolutely.
100% guarantee.
Yeah, it's all good and well to be on the pill, but you need to take it every day, and if you then tend to forget, then obviously the pill is not the option for you. Then rather you would do something like an intrauterine device, which is fit and forget.
Yeah, and education about contraceptives such as injections and pills and condoms are being taught at schools and other places. I mean, we all do know that we need to take precautionary measures. But in your view, what might be the reasons as to why people still choose to ignore, using them?
I just honestly think there's quite a few people, about 35% of the survey group, that said, they had unprotected sex because they didn't think it was likely that their partner would fall pregnant, or that they would fall pregnant. Now that's a bit concerning, and it doesn't make sense at all.
You can't be sexually active and not expect to fall pregnant.
Exactly. So there's a lot of myths out there, and people don't really want to talk about it. We've found that the people are more using the intranet now, or the internet now, to get answers to questions, and that's why the World Contraceptive Day Coalition has developed yourlife.com, which is a website where people are not judged. It's not preaching contraception. It's really teaching people about the options that they have. And we try to obviously drive as many people to the website as possible.
And how has the response been thus far?
It's been great. I mean, that's how we also run the survey. And yeah, people have used, in 2009 survey, only about 14% of people used the internet to gain access to information on contraception. That has jumped to 83% in the recent survey. So that's why we're definitely focusing a lot on the yourlife.com website in transmitting these information and giving people options.
And in terms of accessibility of these contraceptives,
Yes.
I mean, surely one can just walk into one of the healthcare centers and get help.
Absolutely.
Are they easily accessible even to women in your most deep rural areas?
For sure. That's definitely for sure. It's a huge drive from the Department of Health. There is family planning clinics everywhere. At Bayer, we also train these nurses on the use of for instance, the injectable form of contraceptive, how to administer it, how to counsel the patient. So yes, there's a huge drive from government, and it's provided free to all people that needs to have contraception.
All right. Is there a prescribed age maybe for women to start using them?
Well,
as soon as you see your periods, it's a sign?
Basically, the law states that a young girl don't need her parents' consent to gain access to contraceptive by the age of 12. So that's around the age that they do, move into puberty. So yes, from the year, like I said, as soon as you're having your period, you need to make a plan.
But what does the law say? Because in some instances you find parents who can sort of, feel and see that their kids are sexually active and they would physically want to take them there. Does the law provide that as a parent? I can actually take my child to a clinic?
You can take your child to a clinic, but obviously the child can go by themselves if they don't need their parents' consent, if they are older than 12.
The day, how is it commemorated? What should we do on this day?
I think talk to your partner about contraception, and talk to your kids for that matter too. It's never too young to start. And really try and make the topic less of a taboo. I think it's because people are ignorant and almost afraid to ask. So speak up.
You need to speak to your partner about it. But do you come across women who say, I'm on contraceptives and my partner is not aware? Do you come?
Obviously there are a lot of them.
They're even keeping it away from them.
Absolutely, because they've got the fear of falling pregnant, or they don't want a baby, but that discussion hasn't taken place. But in the end, it's your body, and you need to make the decision when you're a woman.
Very essential.
Absolutely.
Well, let's leave it at that, Tina. Thank you so much for talking to us. I believe the message is through.
Fantastic. Thank you, Palesa. Thank you for having me.
Have a good day. Well, there you have it. That's Tina Visser, medical advisor at Women's Health and Radiology at Bayer, talking to us about the 10th annual World Contraception Day, whereby they encourage family planning, of course, and the use of contraceptives. Well, that's it, I think. Yes, that's it.